All right. Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome to First 15 at 8:15. This is Rich Levin, recording my last webinar for this vacation break. Look forward to speaking to you all live on Monday on our First 15 and again at our live coaching call on Monday, as we say, with God's help, because that's going to be a little bit from now since I'm recording these ahead of time. But let's get to our topic of the day, back to farm for a day, and then we're going to get on to sales skills next week. Man, I love all these topics, but you know why I love them? I love them because they make you money and make us all stronger and more successful. So today we're going to learn to engage your farm in ways that are really fun and enjoyable for all, and they make you measurable, they show people you're human, you have fun, and they ensure that you have a tremendous and solid flow of business from your farm area. All right. So we're going to call today farm events, fun for profit. Farm events, absolutely having fun for profit. And this is the last session of our summer vacation schedule. We will have live 15 today, obviously. And then tomorrow, Kayla will be with you for internet marketing and social media at 8:15, first 15. And then a live call at 11:30, and I'm sure Kayla and Noah and their children will be glad that we'll be back in town shortly after this is played by you. So let's talk about success mindset. Hey, I threw a picture in there for you today. Success mindset. I love this thought. I don't know who wrote it. I should look it up. I may have looked it up and couldn't find it, what do you call that, assigned to anybody. Oh, sure. Anyway, it takes both rain and sunshine to make a rainbow. Man, if you're going through a tough time, you know, it takes both that and the good side to make a rainbow. It takes both rain and sunshine to make a rainbow. Walked out of my house one morning, not long ago, a few weeks ago. There was a rainbow literally across the full length of the sky from ground to ground. It was breathtaking. And I went for a walk. It was in front of me the whole time. Man, that is just exciting, but you have to remember it takes both rain and sunshine to make a rainbow. Now, it is August 21st, so it's very important that you know what is your sales goal for August. What do you want to put under contract? What have you already put under contract so far this August? What else is likely? Will that do it? Will that exceed your goal for August? If not, where will the rest come from? There's 10 days of August left. There's plenty of time for you to make a sale you don't even know about yet. A buyer you haven't even met yet. A buyer has been working with another agent, got frustrated with that agent, and now wants to look at some other houses, not what they've seen with that agent, with you. Or a listing that you're going to put on the market. Somebody you're going to talk to wants to put their house on the market, that all of a sudden will be put on the market. You'll have a buyer, somebody else will. It is very possible in the next 10 days you'll make a sale you're not even aware of. So where could that come from? You know, where could the rest of the sales for this month come from? Never give up until the last day of the month is over. And what's your August listing goal? What else is likely? What else might you list before the end of the month? Will that exceed your listing goal? Where could those listings come from? What efforts? What people? What lead follow-up? And over the past 3 weeks, have you exceeded your appointment goal? Have you exceeded your appointment goal each one of the last 3 weeks? And do you have the appointments you need to exceed your appointment goal for this week? Stay focused on that appointment goal each week as well. And that's all part of your daily system. And remember, there's 2 sets of routines and systems in your business, 3 sets. Daily systems that are done most or all days. Weekly systems that are done a few days of the week. And then task systems that are done when the task is at hand. And again, when we talk, if you go back and listen to our webinars on this, I think they're still posted, and we'll be doing some full-length webinars on all the systems of your business as part of the launch or as part of the development of the new website and the new brand. But get on our live calls. We will continuously talk about putting the routines and systems in place that make your business as automatic, consistent, and enjoyable as possible. Because I'll tell you, your business will be frustrating without stronger and stronger routines and systems. So back to marketing for one more day before we move on to sales skills. Sales skills is the next topic. We talked about it yesterday as a mental break. Today we're going to come back to marketing And just to wrap up, we've said it many times over the last few weeks talking about marketing. You want to choose your top markets, which will be your sphere of influence in your farm. Those other prospecting efforts are prospecting efforts. They're not marketing. Your markets are your sphere of influence in your farm. And the message to your markets is always, I sell real estate and I'm good at it. So everything about nearly every marketing piece you send out should say, I sell real estate and I'm good at it, which means it doesn't have a off message, and we'll talk more about that as time goes on as well. You want to build a brand, a color, a design, a layout, the use of your picture that's so recognizable, it's as recognizable as a Starbucks or a Coca-Cola label, two of my favorite brands. You want to develop, you want to use media that directly focuses on your markets. We'll talk about that on our live calls if you like, and you want to make sure that you're always measuring the return you're getting, that you can look back on the year and say, wow, I spent $5,000 on those marketing efforts, but I made more than $20,000 in return. And one last time, your sphere of influence are your first marketing priority, one last time for this round, and your farming is your second marketing priority. And again, top agents farm. Top agents dominate a farm area. And you dominate a farm area by being the trusted and honest neighborhood expert, and you can't be the trusted and honest neighborhood expert unless you're doing all these things, unless you're seeing every home, unless you're aware of every home, unless every home that expires, you're there afterward to see if you can talk to that owner and help them see that you're the person that can sell it because you're the neighborhood expert. You know what sells for how much, what nuances, what to do to their house in that neighborhood that will make sure that it sells and sells for the highest price. I've talked to agents in their farm areas who've taken listings that didn't sell, that expired, told the owner to do some things, bring in some staging, and have sold the listing for more because they understood what would cause the listing to sell, or the other agent just didn't have the expertise of the farming agent. Pursue every for sale by owner on your farm. Send that opening letter that we talked about a few days ago with all the sales from the area from their past 12 to 18 months. Be sure that you know more about values in the area than any other agent. You're confident you know how to get the highest possible price, and you do that by seeing every home, by doing the things that we talk about to build your farm neighborhood. And make sure that use the marketing pieces in your farm marketing, the things we're teaching you to do and to send, so that the people who live in the area know that you are able to get the highest price because you care more about it, because that's how you build your business and make sure that you get every sale and every referral possible from your farm area. So your goal is to list and sell more than any other company. And I've got many clients doing this, that they as individuals sell more than any other company in the area. Because when people think in your farm of real estate, they may not even think of your company, they think of your name. You come to mind. Tirza Beer comes to mind. You know, Terry Murphy comes to mind. Terry Brandon comes to mind. Jan Fiore comes to mind as the best real estate agent to sell their home in that area. So you create farm links to your website. You send those postcards 4 to 6 times a year. You send something fun and interesting, like we talked about yesterday. You set up community events in your area. You know, things like we're going to actually talk about today, and then you probably need to manage a community website. So we talked about this as a quick review. We talked about sending farm mailings, a mailing once a year, twice a year. Some agents send it as many as 4 times a year that give the latest sales in your neighborhood. You know, fact, Tirza Beer sold 13 homes within a mile radius in just 6 months. Tirza is currently working with pre-approved buyers to buy in Chestnut Ridge. If you or someone you know is looking to make a move, call Tirza today. Great message, great call to action. Imagine that that's on a list of the 13 homes that she sold. These are all EDDMs, the most cost-effective way to send mailings through the post office. And then imagine getting this list of all the homes that have sold in the area. Now, Tirza said to me, many people who get this think she sold all these homes. She didn't. This is a list from public records of all the homes that have sold. In most states, this is legal to send, and where it's not legal to send, get on our live call, and I'll show you how you can send these statistics in a way that will be within the law in your state. It has a strong message on top This is real data from Realtor and Public Records. At the bottom, keep this information. I, Tirza, constantly updating this information. My goal is to sustain and increase the value of the homes in our area so that every neighbor gets the highest possible price for their home. If you're considering a move, you'd like to know how all this information directly affects your property, call me. This is built to work, and it does. And again, this is Kyle's version of the same thing. And then we talk about Jan's version of this. Now we're flipping over to monthly mailings. So Jan's mailings that every month she sends out that reinforces that she is the agent in her marketplace. We've talked about this over the last few days. Same thing with Tirza's mailings. Let's stay with that for a second in case you want to look at them. Tirza's mailings that she sends every single, if not every single month, 4, 6, 8 times a year. And Marcia's mailings, again, these are people who make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and most of their business is based on their farming effort. You can do a lot of things in your business to make money, but your sphere of influence and your geographic farming are two that will be most consistent and most dependable. Again, monthly mailing. But the topic I want to focus on for today is community events, the fun things. You can have a community garage sale. There's an agent in our neighborhood who does this well, where you pick a time of the year. Maybe it's, spring, fall. Spring is always best, but if spring's busy for you, fall. When you organize, you let everybody know garage sales. You provide people with the for sale signs for their garage sale signs. You stop by. You help people in any way you can. You put signs on the corner of every street. As a matter of fact, this agent, when you drive through the neighborhood, on every street corner, the day he's having his farm, it says, this agent's garage sale sponsored by this agent. Santa calls really, really fun. That at Christmas time, you send out to your farm a note saying anybody who has a child between the ages of, let's say, 3 and 10, who would like a call from Santa, a voluntary donation of $5, name your charity. People send you $5. Santa calls the week before Christmas, and on the Santa call request, you ask, when have they been naughty? When have they been nice? What are they going to get for Christmas? So that when Santa calls, ho, 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 we had 4 or 5 people all calling for my farmer, ho, 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 this is Santa. Sally, I understand. It was so much fun. Such a big builder of such a big builder of your reputation as somebody who's not only committed to selling real estate, but making sure that the people in the area understand you're a real powerful and sensitive human being as well. A day at the ballpark, when you just send people tickets and you have a part of the ballpark, maybe you cook out hot dogs for people. School events, whether it's sporting events or some other event that either you sponsor, you're present at, or you help set up. Local neighborhood scouts, a neighborhood picnic that you help organize and or sponsor, and you don't have to sponsor it. You can co-sponsor, you organize where your name is most prominent, and get your lenders and title companies and inspectors to help sponsor these things. Pumpkin patch, where you can either invite people out to a pumpkin patch or bring a truck in with lots of pumpkins and people can just have at it and have pumpkins for the day sponsored by you. A Mother's Day gift, food pantry, where you're sponsoring the food pantry, perhaps coordinating that with one of the kids from your area who works and sponsors and develops food pantry. There are many, many ideas. We can develop these on our live calls, and there are many, many ideas that these are like frosting on the cake. These are the ones that solidify you. The people who aren't sure who you are, maybe they're just a real estate agent like everybody else, and this really sets you apart. So, the recipe for your ingredient for your recipe of success today, make the decision to farm. And if you make the decision to farm, continue to implement each routine, the initial farm mailing, and then the ongoing monthly mailings, and making sure that you go and pre-inspect every home that comes up for sale, and the for sale by owners, and the expireds, and do your CMA drive round, and be part of community events, and set up community events, and slowly, step by step, over the course of years, your farm is going to pay you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Over the course of 1, 2, 3 years, you make the decision to farm, continue to implement each routine in your farm, and I promise you, you're going to have a farm area that is going to pay you in spades. And not only that, spades means a lot, not only that, But when you go to sell your business someday, that transferring that farm to a new agent is part of what gives your business real value. So hug the ones you love, make a great day, continue to make sales, and I look forward, as we say with God's help, to be with you on Monday, and make a great life, hug the ones you love, continue to have a strong August, finish the month strong, and let's get a strong beginning to the end of the year. Hug the ones you love, make a great day. Bye.